While we wait for that, a stunning revelation by the former interim head of the Democratic National Committee, Donna Brazile, finding proof Hillary Clinton rigged the primary campaign, secretly taking over the DNC nearly a year before winning the nomination. In Brazile's new book, obtained by Politico, she writes, as Hillary's campaign gained momentum, she resolved the party's debt and put it on a starvation diet. It had become dependent on her campaign for survival, for which she expected to wield control of its operations. Jonah Goldberg is senior editor of National Review and a Fox News contributor. This excerpt from her book, Donna Brazile, getting a lot of attention right now. Jonah?
Yeah, no, it's an amazing story, and it basically, you know, for everyone who called Bernie Sanders a conspiracy theorist and that he was just sort of paranoid and out of his gourd for saying that the primaries were rigged, this proves him entirely right. I mean, this is like if the JFK files that were released last week actually had all of the stuff about a second gunman, space aliens, and all of that, you'd see all these guys who work in like used bookstores saying, I'm right. That's Bernie Sanders today, because the thing was rigged. Hillary Clinton had basically taken over the Democratic Party, and it's pretty amazing. I think one of the things that there are two things that people aren't paying attention to in this so far this morning. The first is this really does show what unbelievable damage Barack Obama had done to the Democratic Party and left it in a shambles so that it was vulnerable for someone like Hillary Clinton to be able to basically bribe them into handing over the keys to the
Donna Brazile
place.
hits on just that, Jonah. She points out that Obama, quote, left the party $24 million in debt. She goes then to further charge Wasserman Schultz, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the former chair, with exacerbating the party's financial strain by refusing to trim down the DNC staff during non-election years. I want to pull out another quote from Donna Brazile's piece here. She says, quote, keeping this secret was against everything I stood for, all that I valued as a woman and as a public servant. Hello, Senator, she quotes herself. I've completed my review of the DNC and I did find the cancer, I said, but I will not kill the patient. Jonah.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing part of it. And look, I've actually known Donna Brazile for coming up on 20 years now. I used to be on a CNN Sunday show with her that no one watched except for close friends and relatives. The fact that there are a lot of people, especially among Republicans, who have these sort of outside views of Donna Brazile as being this villainous, dangerous person. I actually think she's a pretty honorable, decent person. But whatever view you have of her, for her to be writing this really does demonstrate that the Clintons are done in the Democratic Party. Because Donna Brazile would not be writing this if the Clintons were still a viable force in the Democratic Party.
Very interesting point. Very interesting point. And by the way, no reaction from the Clinton camp yet this morning. We're keeping our eye on that.
They've had a bad month. Cut them some slack.
Nor have we heard yet from Bernie Sanders. I can't imagine he's all too pleased to read all of this morning. I want to get to one other piece of this. Quote, the agreement signed by Amy Dacey, the former CEO of the DNC, and Robbie Mook with a copy to Mark Elias specified that in exchange for raising money and investing in the DNC, Hillary would control the party's finances, strategy, and all the money raised, accusing her of an all-out takeover of the DNC. Jonah?
Yeah, well, this is one of the ironies about Hillary Clinton. She was a terrible outside politician. She wasn't a front-of-the-room candidate, but she was a really good backroom politician. She was a good worker of the bureaucracy. And this is just the chutzpah of basically saying to the DNC, we're going to take over everything. And it's like one of these like sort of Russian mafia companies, outfits that comes over and takes over corporations and just bleeds them dry. She basically said to the DNC, we own you now, but one of the things you're going to have to do is if anybody claims that we're rigging the system, you have to call them paranoid, you have to attack them as being insane. And they kind of pulled it off. They just weren't good enough at actually winning an election.
I'm sure we're going to see a continued response to all of this morning, considering it is just out and just starting to get a lot of attention. Jonah Goldberg, thanks for coming on this morning.
Great to be here. Thank you.